Hold on. My niece Ashley, who very much posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family.
This was not the first time of me telling this story. This has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story. I just had to tell the story.
All right. This one right here, this is the kind of story that makes you pause for a second. Because at first, it sounds like regular family drama. But the deeper you go, the more uncomfortable it gets. And trust me, by the time we get to the middle of this, you're going to start questioning everything you thought you knew about loyalty, about boundaries, and about what really goes on behind closed doors. So, Tamar is speaking out again, and this time she's not holding anything back. We're talking about her own sister, Towanda. We're talking about Michael Jr. And we're talking about a situation that Tamar is now framing in a way that has people looking at this family completely differently. Because according to Tamar, this wasn't just messy. This crossed a line.
And it may not be your family, and that is totally okay. I am an example of that. You may not get support from your family, and that is totally fine. You still have the right to use your voice. You still have the right to talk. You still have the right to say how you feel. The world will try to silence you. People will try to silence you. But the world needs your voice and not your silence.
And what nobody expected was how direct she would be about it. She didn't hint, she didn't sugarcoat, she didn't dance around the situation. She came out and said it in a way that left very little room for interpretation. She made it sound like Towanda didn't just make a mistake, she made a choice. And not just any choice, but one that affected someone much younger, someone impressionable, someone connected to the family in a way that makes this even more complicated. Now, before we jump to conclusions, we've got to slow this down and really unpack it. Because stories like this don't just appear out of nowhere. There's always history. There's always tension bubbling under the surface long before anything explodes publicly. And in this family, there's a lot of history.
And he found someone else, and he married my stepmom. But it was not a good relationship. He was physically abusive to her.
Okay.
And then she was physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive to my sister and I.
For years, people have watched the Braxton sisters navigate fame, relationships, heartbreak, and each other. From the outside, it always looked like a mix of love and chaos. You could see the bond, but you could also feel the cracks. Tamar has always been the outspoken one, the one who says what others are thinking but won't admit, the one who gets labeled as too much, simply because she refuses to stay quiet. And Towanda, she's often been seen as the calmer presence, the more grounded one, the one who tries to keep the peace when things get out of control. But here's the thing about families. The roles we see on the surface don't always reflect what's really happening underneath. Because sometimes the quiet ones carry secrets no one expects. And sometimes the loud ones are reacting to things nobody else wants to address. Now, when it comes to Michael Jr., this is where the story starts to feel a little heavier. He's not just some random person in the mix. He's connected. He's part of a younger generation, someone who grew up around all of this, watching, learning, absorbing. So when Tamar brings his name into this conversation, people immediately start paying attention. Because now it's not just about sister drama anymore. Now it feels personal in a different way. And Tamar knows that. She knows exactly what it means to say something like this publicly. She knows the kind of reaction it's going to get, and still, she said it anyway. Which raises the question, why now? Because let's be real, situations like this don't just happen overnight. If Tamar is talking about it today, there's a strong chance this has been sitting in the background for a long time. Unspoken, unaddressed, maybe even ignored. But here's where things start to shift. According to Tamar, what happened between Towanda and Michael Jr. wasn't just inappropriate, it was intentional. She describes it in a way that suggests there was a level of awareness, a level of control, a level of decision-making that can't just be brushed off as misunderstanding. And that's what makes people uncomfortable, because it forces you to stop and ask, where were the boundaries? Where were the adults in the room? And why is this only coming out now? But here's the twist. Tamar isn't just telling the story as an outsider looking in. She's speaking as someone who feels deeply affected by it. You can hear it in her tone. You can see it in the way she frames the situation. This isn't just gossip for her. This feels personal. And when something feels personal, it usually means there's more beneath the surface than what's being said out loud. Because Tamar isn't just accusing, she's confronting. She's pulling something into the light that she believes should have been addressed a long time ago. And that's where the tension really starts to build. Because once something like this is said publicly, there's no going back. You can't undo it. You can't pretend it didn't happen. Now the family has to respond. Now people are asking questions. Now everything is under a microscope. And let's talk about the reaction, because this is where things get even more layered. Some people are standing with Tamar, saying she's brave for speaking up. They believe that calling out uncomfortable truths, especially within a family, is never easy, and it takes a certain level of courage to do it in front of the world. But then there are others who aren't so sure. They're questioning the timing. They're questioning the motive. They're asking why something this serious is being brought to social media instead of handled privately. And honestly, that's a fair question. Because when something involves family, especially something sensitive, people expect it to be handled behind closed doors. But Tamar doesn't seem interested in keeping things behind closed doors anymore. And maybe that's the point. Maybe she's tired of silence. Maybe she's tired of things being swept under the rug. Or maybe, just maybe, she feels like the only way to force accountability is to bring it into the open where it can't be ignored. But here's where it gets complicated, because once you go public, it's not just about truth anymore. It becomes about perception. It becomes about how people interpret what's being said. It becomes about sides. And now, instead of just one issue, you've got multiple layers of conflict happening all at once. There's the original situation, there's Tamar's decision to speak on it, there's the family's response or lack of response, and then there's the public watching, analyzing, and forming opinions in real time. And that kind of pressure, it changes everything. Now, let's talk about the emotional weight of all this, because this isn't just drama for entertainment. These are real people, real relationships, real consequences. For Tamar, speaking out like this comes with a cost. It puts her at odds with her own sister. It risks further dividing a family that's already been through its share of public struggles. But at the same time, staying silent has a cost too. Because when you feel like and now, instead of just one issue, you've got multiple layers of conflict happening all at once. There's the original situation, there's Tamar's decision to speak on it, there's the family's response or lack of response, and then there's the public watching, analyzing, and forming opinions in real time. And that kind of pressure, it changes everything. Now, let's talk about the emotional weight of all this, because this isn't just drama for entertainment. These are real people, real relationships, real consequences. For Tamar, speaking out like this comes with a cost. It puts her at odds with her own sister. It risks further dividing a family that's already been through its share of public struggles. But at the same time, staying silent has a cost too. Because when you feel like something is wrong, when you feel like a line has been crossed, holding that in can eat at you. And maybe that's where Tamar is right now, at a point where silence feels heavier than the fallout. And then there's Towanda, because regardless of what's true or not, being at the center of an accusation like this is not something you can just brush off. It affects your reputation. It affects how people see you. It affects how you move going forward. And the hardest part? Once something like this is out there, it doesn't just disappear. It stays. It follows you. It becomes part of the narrative whether you like it or not. And then there's Michael Jr., a name that probably never expected to be part of a conversation like this, a situation that puts him in a spotlight that feels complicated, uncomfortable, and deeply personal. And that's why this story hits differently. Because it's not just about who said what, it's about the impact. It's about the ripple effect that one revelation can have on multiple lives at once. And as all of this unfolds, one question keeps coming back. Where does the truth actually sit? Because in situations like this, the truth isn't always simple. It's layered. It's shaped by perspective, by emotion, by memory. And sometimes, two people can walk away from the same situation with completely different versions of what happened. But here's what we do know. Something happened. Something serious enough for Tamar to speak on it the way she did. Something significant enough to shake the image of a family that's already been through so much in the public eye. And now the world is watching to see what happens next. Will Towanda respond? Will the family address it as a whole? Or will this become another chapter in a long history of things being left unresolved? Because if there's one thing we've learned from situations like this, it's that silence doesn't make things go away. It just delays the moment they come back, louder than before. And maybe that's where we are right now, at that moment, where everything that's been building behind the scenes is finally starting to surface. And whether people are ready for it or not, it's out there now.
Thank you to everyone who's been supporting me, who's been commenting, who's been sharing, who's been telling me stories and writing to me and just being so supportive. I appreciate you so much, way more than you know. It got to be a little bit, and that's to be expected for those of you who just think that I'm just chaos for this. And I did want to come back on and just say that I really hope that this prompted you to have a conversation with your own family, and that you decided to give your family or your friends or whoever it is a safe space to be able to talk about this in these conversations. Because we normally, typically, and I'm talking about from the African American community, we really decide to sweep these things under the rug, and we have to stop doing that, and we have to have these conversations. And we have to talk about these things in these situations. As much as sometimes I feel like it was negative, it was positive in the sense that we actually had these conversations. So that I'm really grateful for. And another thing that I want to say is that telling your story after being silenced is not an easy task. I wish that I could just beautifully talk about the situation and it makes sense and everything, every piece is put together. It's not how it works. When you've been silenced and when you start telling your story, it's like peeling an onion, Sometimes the first time you tell the story, it's messy, pieces aren't together, but you're finally using that part of your voice to start speaking. And then you peel the next layer off and it gets easier to talk about. So I wanted to showcase that in itself so that whoever is going through what I'm going through, whoever's been silenced, but they're learning to use your voice, you can understand too that it's not a journey that's just an easy journey. It's something that you have to work on and work towards. And the more you tell your story, the better you get to tell the story. I don't even know if I want to get into it all again, just because there's a lot of things that go into deciding to tell your story. When you decide to tell your story, it's going to affect somebody else, and someone else can feel hurt, and someone else can feel betrayed, and it can lead to so many things. But for me, I am so happy. I feel freer. My voice feels easier. My throat feels lighter. I don't know. I just feel like I don't have to carry this anymore, because A, it was never mine to carry in the first place. But I just feel so much lighter. I just feel free, and I'm proud of myself, actually, for what I've done, because it was not easy. It's not easy to do it, but it's also not easy to do it when your family is who they are with the platforms that they have, and then putting it on the TV show. And I also want to commend my own family for doing that as well, because we are really showing you like, what is real life? This is real life. Families go through things. It's ups, it's downs. It's not always easy. It's not always a trajectory to the moon or at an incline of greatness. You have your ups and you have your downs. And so I also appreciate them for even putting it on the show. And as much as a bad rap that it's getting, I really hope, and I've seen it, that we're having these conversations about this topic. It's so important. This was not the first time of me telling this story. This has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story. I just had to tell the story. And I knew that I was going to get repercussions, and I knew that I was going to get backlash, and I knew that I wasn't always going to be supported, but it wasn't about anybody else. It was all about me. And now there's this part of me that's just prepare my body for kids, that I just get to pass on a legacy to my kids where I'm not holding on to that anymore. It's not inside of me. It doesn't live within me. And I always want my kids to have something better than what I had. Truly, I've forgiven everybody in this situation. It's something that for me is in the past. I believe that a lot of people were hurt. I'm not the only victim in this situation. But I just really hope that if you're a mom, if you're an aunt, if you're a woman, that you can make the choice to just listen to the other person, or the child actually in this situation, because it was a child, that you're able to sit with the child, give them a safe space to talk, listen to them, and make a judgment of how to handle the situation that gives the child safety. I didn't have safety within my family or within my home. I didn't have I wasn't safe. I was not safe. I don't ever want another woman to feel like that, especially if you're a kid and something happened to you that you didn't ask for and you've just had to deal with it. And I think that anybody who has been silenced, who has had something happen to them, I just hope that my story shows you that it's not always easy. But I still hope that you find the courage to do it, even though sometimes it's not going to go how you plan it, even though people are not always going to support you. But you still have to tell your story. And everybody's story is worthy and deserving of being heard. Every single person's story is worthy to be heard. So I just hope that I'm a real example of what happened in any family. Use me as an example of like, what's the worst that could happen? Because it wasn't even that bad, but use me as an example for you if you need to tell your story. Use me I did this in public so that you could see how it is, so that you can see the journey, you can see my journey. People are going to have their opinions. People are going to say what they're going to say. You're not always going to get the support from the people that you need. You're not always going to get the support from the people that you think you need, but you are going to have support from somebody in the world. And it may not be your family, and that is totally okay. I am an example of that. You may not get support from your family, and that is totally fine. You still have the right to use your voice. You still have the right to talk. You still have the right to say how you feel. The world will try to silence you. People will try to silence you, but the world needs your voice and not your silence. And I will stand by that till the day that I die. So thank you all so much for being here with me, being on this journey with me, watching it. Thanks for the judgment. Thanks for the criticism. Thanks for the people that supported me. Thanks for the people that said, I understand you. Be kind to yourselves. And please, if you have not already, own family and ask them about this topic, about this situation, about this, please, I encourage you to do so. And if someone says, yes, this has happened to me and I didn't tell you, please give them a safe space. Please allow people.
Right. And did you have contact with mum, like after mum had gone?
No. Interesting enough, I never had contact with her. She also has 3 kids.
Wow.
So she moved on.
Yeah.
But I would sometimes see her sister and her mom and her dad sometimes.
Yeah.
And I had a girl cousin, but it was always up and down. It was always some sort of a roller coaster. But after that, I'd never seen her ever again.
Wow. So was it like you sort of like, I know she's out there and there, it kind of through the grapevine, you might hear something like, oh, she's out there doing this, that, and the other, but she's just not reaching out to you.
No, not reaching out at all. And no one talked about it either.
Okay.
And she had asked her family, like her mom, her dad, her family, not to talk about us. So we did not exist.
Wow.
Yeah. And so with my stepmom, it was a really interesting life because for me, I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a new mom. And she put her name on our papers and things that.
Okay.
And so there was moments that were great. And I have 2 half brothers. So love them. Everything is awesome. But how do you deal with physical, mental, emotional abuse? I would tell my dad, hey, I'm being abused.
Mm-hmm.
And not, like I wet the bed and I had to lick it up. Or maybe I was slapped so hard down the stairs. Or maybe I was punched in my face. Or maybe she held my ear and decided to scream in it for the next 2 minutes. I mean, it kind of was up and down.
Right.
And if I told my dad, then he would come home. He's a nurse.
Right.
So he worked the day shift. He would come home. And at night, it was so traumatic to listen to them physically beating each other
Okay.
in the next room. So what do you do? Do you tell and risk watching someone else get beat? No fun.
Yeah.
And then having the aftermath of it turned onto you. So it's just a never ending circle.
In terms of the things that caused animosity between the 2 of them, was that related to the way in which she was treating you and your sister? Or was that their own issues that were separate to the rest of the family dynamics?
It was both.
Okay.
It was both. So there would be marital issues that didn't have anything to do with us. But then I don't know why my stepmom, she referred to my sister and I as the N-word.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were the N-word, and we were also referred to as she, they, or them. That was like our names.
Yeah.
And so there was always something that she, they, or them did that perhaps she didn't care for.
Okay.
And then that's how it would transfer.
And what did that do? So you had stepbrothers. Did they come with her? Were they part of the package, or did they come along later?
They came along later.
Okay.
So my sister is 3 years younger than I am. My oldest younger brother is 4 years. And then after that, it's 8 years.
Okay.
So they came after. And it's unfortunate that even now we don't have a relationship because you were just pit against each other.
Yeah.
So the household was like all for one and one for all. You better guard up.
Wow.
And it's not really healthy.
No, definitely not. No. I was wondering, like, what would the effects of those circumstances be on the younger brothers? Because it would be very difficult for them to, I guess, develop respect towards you and your sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't see eye to eye because the way they see life is very different than the way I've seen it. And so for them, it's hard, which is understandable.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking these things about their mother, these are quite harsh accusations.
Of course.
That I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you were not there to grasp what was happening, then perhaps you think and be like, I think this is a little far-fetched.
Yes.
And that was something that was really hard for me because I come from this family. My stepmom is great at just being the PTA mom. She really was there for us in times of school. And same with my dad. My dad is a nurse. He's distinguished. So even trying to go to school to talk to the counselor about it, it was always like, are you lying?
Yeah. It from the outside looking in,
right?
It looked like a nice shiny family.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when did you ever have anyone that kind of stepped in and advocated for you or spoke up for you, or a point at which you shared this with someone who took it more seriously?
Mm-hmm. There were some family members that tried their best.
Okay.
Grandma, for instance, and a few of my aunts to come in and step in. But, I'm never angry or upset with them. They tried their best. It was the moment where my dad would come back and say, like, hey, guys, this is her house too. So they would come up to our house and they would confront my stepmom and be like, what is happening here? Yeah. And when my father then would in return call and say, hey, this is her house, don't show up here this way.
Right.
How does that work? So I had to learn very quickly that it was just me, myself, and my sister. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, I didn't see that my dad was a part of the picture of the problem.
Yeah.
I just thought it was my stepmom.
Uh-huh.
To have someone even say to you, the reason why your mom left is because of you. And, that was like her fuel as to why we were such bad kids.
Yeah. So
then you just take that on as an adult, and taking that on and not getting the mental health that you need really shapes you into someone who's not really able to function.
Yeah. And you're the oldest, right? You had a younger sister. Do you think that caused you to take this on in a different way?
For sure. And I can remember when all of my siblings at one point were hiding underneath of my bed.
Yeah.
You have so much responsibility because you just want them to be safe. I mean, it's very traumatic listening to your parents physically hit each other or anything.
Yeah.
But then there's also that weird sense in our family of where one for all. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really hard. But my sister was my best friend through it all.